What is up, investors? Jason here. So we're going to be doing a bit of a technical analysis on Bitcoin and the crypto market, where we are seeing a lot of fear over in the crypto market. We're also seeing we're seeing Bitcoin currently start to break out of a pattern that it's been on, as we're seeing all the sideways trading, and the entire crypto market is really mirroring a lot of what Bitcoin is doing. We see the same similarities between Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, etc. All the cryptocurrencies, the major altcoins in general, are really following what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing. Now, we're also seeing similarities within the stock market of what Bitcoin is mirroring a lot of what the stock market is doing, and these are things that we need to be paying attention to. Now, so the first part of today, we're going to be doing this technical analysis, but the second part, we're going to be talking a bit about inflation and how we are seeing the price of gold going up this year. And even though we're seeing a bit of pullback with Bitcoin from its highs, we could easily be seeing the price of Bitcoin trend up here as we have more talks about inflation. And I think that this could be something that we could potentially be seeing where if we were to see inflation at about 3%, we could be seeing the crypto market really benefit from it. So as we get to it, if you guys don't mind, please do me a huge favor. Please be sure to smash, destroy, annihilate, or gently press the like button to help me out with the algorithm and help spread the content to more people that might find it interesting. And if you guys do like content on cryptocurrencies and a little bit about the stock market and such, please do consider subscribing if you have not already. Now let's get to it. So if we look over at the crypto fear and greed index, we can see that we're currently in extreme fear, and this is after being in fear for a large majority of all of 2022. Now, looking over at the chart here for Bitcoin, what we can see is that Bitcoin currently is trading sideways, which in my opinion, this is great that we are seeing it trend sideways right now, because if we look at the history here over these last couple months, we can see that Bitcoin does do a little bit of a rally and then trade sideways a little bit, and then it just continues moving up. It's just actually been gradually going up if you look at it from this year so far. So this is a good example here, and we can see that all this consolidation that we're currently seeing, this could possibly be leading to a potential breakout in the price. If we look over at the MACD, we can see that we're getting very close to possibly getting into more a bullish territory here, especially when we look over at the volume at this moment. We can see that there's a lot of there is an increase in buying activity at this particular moment. And another thing to really pay attention to is that we just recently saw that 20-day moving average fall below that 50-day moving average, where in March, when we were seeing the price of Bitcoin climbing up, going on this big rally, where we wiped out a lot of the gains that we didn't make, but what we were seeing was that 20-day moving average past the 50, the 100, and was getting close to passing that 200-day moving average as we had gotten into April, and then it went bearish from there. But we could possibly be seeing it start to go back to being bullish with things that we are seeing at this moment. Now, when we look over at the other cryptocurrencies, we look over at what Ethereum is doing. It's still doing very similar things that Bitcoin is doing. When we look at how we're seeing Ethereum, where it topped out at the beginning of April, and then it dropped, and then it trades sideways. It drops, it trades sideways. That's what Bitcoin has been doing. It drops, trades sideways for a couple days, drops, trades sideways for a couple days, and this could be the potential breakout that we've been waiting for, to see Bitcoin go back to retesting that $42,000 resistance, that major resistance for Bitcoin. But all the altcoins in general are doing very similar things. Looking over at Cardano, Cardano is following a lot of what Bitcoin is doing, and we're seeing that same type of consolidation with Cardano, which Cardano could be possibly getting ready to start retesting that $1 resistance, and hopefully we can see it go above it and continue working up from there. But everybody's doing the same thing. Everybody is following what Bitcoin is doing, and looking over at the altcoins, we are seeing some momentum in some of these, as we were seeing following that same path. And like Terra Luna here, it is going a bit different from the track that it was on. Solana, for example, same thing. So, looking over at everybody, they're all really mirroring a lot of what Bitcoin is doing, and we could possibly be seeing a potential breakout with Bitcoin again, and then start this next rally here with the crypto market. And also worth pointing out is that the crypto market has been following a lot of what the stock market is doing. If we look over at the S&P, we can see that the similarities within the price of Bitcoin is also reflecting on what the price of the stock market is doing. Looking at the S&P, we can see very similar situation here with the sideways trading. We look over at the total stock market. We look over at BTI. Very similar. We're seeing this mirroring effect a lot of what Bitcoin is doing, mirroring a lot of what the stock market is doing. So these are things that are also worth paying attention to, as well as we're seeing good similarities within the stock market and the crypto market. And this is one of the things that I think that we could be seeing the price of Bitcoin potentially rallying, especially as we are seeing the price of Bitcoin start to break out of the pattern that it was on. Now, gold has always been something that has been viewed as a hedge against inflation, and we've been seeing the price of gold going up this year. It's gone up 9% this year. And Bitcoin is also viewed as a good hedge against inflation. And even though we're seeing the price of Bitcoin down right now, we could easily be seeing the turning point with Bitcoin with the inflation talks and the rise in interest rates. Now, this article here from Reuters, it says the U.S. Treasury yield reached 3-year highs on Monday as investors adjusted for the Federal Reserve to aggressively raise rates as it tries to stem soaring inflation that is running at its fastest pace in 40 years. It says data last week showed that the consumer price index jumped 1.2% last month, the biggest monthly gain since September 2005. In the 12 months through March, the CPI accelerated 8.5%, the largest year-on-year gain since December 1981. Now, the Fed is expected to hike rates by 50 basis points at its May and June meetings, at least. Now, the Fed funds future traders are expecting the Fed's benchmark rate to rise to 1.2% in June and to 2.65% in February from 0.33% now. So we're going to see multiple markets have a big effect on this, like the housing market and such, as we've already seen a big dent in the demand for houses due to the rising interest rates. But I think that this is going to be something that's going to be very beneficial for crypto, even though we have been seeing Bitcoin mirror a lot of what the stock market is doing. I think that we're going to eventually see Bitcoin go back to doing its own thing, and this is going to be very beneficial. And I think that this turn of seeing Bitcoin going back to being bullish is going to happen here very soon, and that's going to be something that is going to really help push the entire altcoins and the rest of the crypto market as well. But anyways, I'd like to hear what your guys' thoughts and opinions of this are. Please let me know. And as always, please like, share, comment, subscribe. New content coming out all the time.